Hey everybody, this is Jim Kurtz with Expansion Marketing, and today we're going to talk about attention. What is attention? Attention is essentially an energy flow, believe it or not. When somebody says pay attention, they're not asking you to pay something like a dollar bill or something. They're asking you to generate energy in a particular direction. Attention really can be considered focused energy in a particular, or focused perception, right? If you really look at it, and science has proven this, that the actual human mind can only actually perceive at any one time, maybe, I think it's 20 or 30 different pieces of information simultaneously, out of possibly billions and billions and billions of sensory data that your body experiences on a continual basis. Your actual mind can only focus on maybe 30 to 50 of it. And in today's modern society, there are a lot of different things competing for that attention that a person has, right? If a person is driving, obviously they have to pay attention to the road. They have to pay attention to cars, the traffic lights, pedestrians, anything that's going on in the environment, etc. But then you add to that what's on the radio. Maybe there's somebody talking on the radio, and so they have a certain amount of attention on the radio. Maybe they have kids in the car like me. They have kids in the car that are fighting or screaming or doing whatever, and they're demanding a certain amount of attention, right? And then they have their cell phones on, and they have to get these text messages, right? And that demands a certain amount of their attention. This is just a classic example of what happens to each and every one of us every single day. If you're in the office, maybe you have your customers have a need, or you're on a project that requires your attention, but then you've also got things happening at home with your kids or your spouse that requires a certain amount of attention that you're maybe still thinking about. Maybe you've had things coming up in the next week or month or something that commands a certain amount of attention, right? Now, why am I telling you all this about attention? I'm telling you this because as a marketing person or as a business owner, when you're going to market and promote yourself, you have to understand that people have a very limited amount of attention to give you. And with, again, all of this information overload that we all experience every single day, and all of the things that are demanding our attention at any given time, you have to be able to break through all of that other noise and grab a person's attention. Like it's almost as needful as, imagine if you are sitting by a street corner and you see a kid walk by and continue walking, like he's going to go into the street, right? And he's about to just walk off the curb and go into the street, and here's this big car, this big bus coming, and it's about to flatten this little 5 or 6 year old kid as he's just walking into the street. Well, you have to grab that person's shoulder, right? You have to grab that kid's shoulder and pull him back onto the curb. Like, that's the level of impact or impingement you need to have with your marketing message. You can't just say, hey, how you doing? My name's Jim. I do marketing. Give me a call sometime. It's like, hey, aren't you sick of paying for marketing that doesn't work? Like that, you have to grab their attention like it's a kid walking off the curb, and you have to hang on to it. And then what you say next is going to be incredibly important, because then now that you have the person's attention, now you have to say something and fill that immediate void that you've just created, because you've created space there by grabbing their attention. And you have to fill that space now with something that's going to hold their attention and generate interest, okay? So your headline or their video that you have, the first thing that they hit when they hit a website or a promotional piece or an ad online, is something that grabs their attention, okay? And then your next marketing messages will handle that attention and develop interest. So that's all I got for this particular video, but when you're thinking about your marketing messages and the marketing that you're doing, think about grabbing attention, thinking about that all-important commodity that you have to command and control is the audience's attention. I hope I've gotten your attention with this, and I hope that you take this to heart, and when you're looking at marketing that you're either already doing or that you're about to start doing, that you're thinking with, how can I grab attention? Because it is literally the most important thing you can possibly do. No matter what tools you're using, no matter what kind of marketing you're doing, if it's not grabbing attention, it's going to fall flat and you're not going to get the results you want. give me a call, 727-225-2790. Let's have a conversation about your business. Let me show you how I grab attention for customers and for their clients to help you guys expand your business. Thanks.